I'm on live. Okay, I'm on live. So you guys tell me where you're at as far as in the process here. Okay. So I'm gonna try not to pick my nose, and I'll try to make you guys smile. And there will be a delay, so I'm going to, let me see here. So I'm going to switch my microphone right now. Okay, so hopefully you guys can hear me now. And what we're going to do is I'm going to show you first how I draw out my organization, and I'm going to show you guys specifically your organizations, and then I'm going to go down to a different whiteboard and draw out some stuff for Jordan. So you guys are on Jordan's whiteboard because it's clean and empty right now, and so it makes more sense. So first I'm going to move a little bit, so hopefully don't get too seasick here. Now, when you guys see this, tell me if you can, there you go. Tell me if you can see the specifically names in the right way, or if you're seeing this backwards. Okay, so you guys can see my board now. So the first thing I'm going to do is no, don't duplicate what I'm doing. I'm just showing you how I draw mine because this is going to be different than yours, okay? This is going to be different when I do yours. So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to be like I'm going to be duplicating, guys. If I do this, you're going to hear me in two voices. So you either got to maybe just mute me. That's going to be behind. Mute me on the conference line. Can you hear me on the computer? Is your volume up? Yeah, and that's going to be challenging right now. So the problem is if I'm explaining what I'm doing is I'm going to be talking way ahead of what you're seeing on my board. Does that make sense? Is it still muffled? Okay, so mute your computer and we'll just see if this works. Okay. Is that better for you guys? Okay. So can you see what I'm doing right now up here? A little bit. Like if you see it, I'm going to put the screen on. Man, I'm getting really good feedback. So somebody's got to mute their computer. Okay. So Robin, can you see the Yearly organization in front of you? With your name green? Okay. So this is who I put on the board. So you guys can see this. So Brooke, this is going to be completely new to you. Okay, and this might sound like a foreign language right now. It will make sense eventually. Okay. So here's what I have going. The green circles, okay, so I have Robin circled and I have Brooke circled. Okay, because these are the two people that are in the most action. I've got green stars by some other key people. Okay, Jonathan and Leslie, they're doing stuff, but not at the level that you guys are. That's not right or wrong. It's just how I keep track of things on a board. Okay, so Jonathan and Leslie are here. They've introduced me to some key people. Those people have to decide if they're teachable and ready to go yet or not. Okay, so what I'm doing is this organization is a developing organization, and I'll show you guys the difference here in a second. Okay, so this is a developing organization. So I'm only putting names up that are relevant to me. There's a lot more people in that group, but this is the group that's relevant to me. So I'm looking for the 2 to 3 people. Okay, in this case it's Robin and Brooke in this group that I can specifically touch and mentor, because I cannot mentor every single person that's coming on board. But I also keep track if I also talk to somebody who I'm like, man, they just have this thing in their voice that I've talked to on the phone. I'm like, they could do this if they wanted to. Their name goes on the board. So you guys can see Tanya Bedwell. Okay, she could tear this up based on the very first conversation that we had. Now, whether she does it or not, that's 100% up to her. Okay, this is how I draw out. So you guys are seeing this through the lens of Brad Nelson right now and how I'm looking at your group. But we're going to change the way that you see your group by based on reports here when I get downstairs. Does that make sense so far? Okay. Ashley, I'm moving this up. Bit. You're going to see your group. You have basically have the person that signed up first, which is bowler. That's the leg. Okay. Then it goes. Then you put everybody in between. I'm just pushing and putting the people on the board that are relevant to me to touch every once in a while, which is me and Marcy. And then obviously Danielle's in there, but she's kind of on the game. So basically, right now, I see it as Ashley, Ross, and Tyson. And then Edessa, depending on where she's at, and then some of these other newer people that you're bringing on board, as they come on board, they'll go up on the board. Okay, so I also circle them if they're an advisor. If they're not an advisor, they're not circled yet. Does that make sense so far? So I cannot physically put every single person in every leg up on my board. So I'm literally looking for like. Let me show you guys somebody else. Okay. Here's Lindsay right here. Okay, Lindsay has people that are. She has way more than this, but the green are the people that I'm in contact with beyond her. So Mandy and Justin Shaw, they earned a rookie bonus. Sean and Kelly Mayer just locked in their rookie bonus tonight. Dennis Lauterbach is key. He lives in Detroit. He's a football coach, and he's in season right now, but he went straight to advisor off of knowing nothing off of credibility. And I know him because he's also a gym owner, and he's just a good dude. And he and his wife are looking at this as a serious business. It's just timing for them. Okay? And then there's a couple that Hoffmans have been in and out. Buller's been in and out. And then you've got Leslie and Dave Williamson, who had a great 2-on-1 with them. They went to advisor. We haven't done much yet. We've done a couple of three-way calls, and that's it. They're a key couple. They're the right people. It's whether they raise their hand and say, I'm going to do this, is really what it comes down to. They have everything it takes to do this. So there's people that, when we go back to the timing, circumstances, and gifting, they have the gifting. They just have to decide if they want to apply their gifting to Advocare. Does that make sense? That's my way of saying it's in it. They're in and out. Like they'll do a three-way call here and there. Okay, here, let me show you another group. Moving over here, this is the Ryther leg. Okay, you guys may or may not know this, but Sean and Katie Ryther now live in Korea. They literally moved on a 2-year thing to Korea so Sean could teach over there. Okay, that's where Brittany Erickson lies. So you can see Brittany here. So it goes Ryther, Brittany Erickson. We got a new girl right here. I got 2 arrows going to her because she's been in direct sales before, earning a couple $1,000 a month. She's the right personality, and she sees this and she's like, I'm ready to do this. She got it in like I think $600 order this period. But she's like she just has the right personality and the right gifting to do this if she wants to. I guess anybody, I'm not counting anybody in or out that can do this based on their personality, but I just know after 15 years there's certain people that can absolutely grow this fast because they're coming to the table at a higher level of leadership and people skills than the majority of the people that are coming on the team. Does that help? So I'm not like not I don't want this to look like I'm not including people or I'm not like I'm discounting people. It's purely the way that I keep track and the only way that I can see on my board who I need to be touching. Does that make? Because I physically can't touch 200 people in someone's leg. I need to pick out the 3 or 4 that are doing the 90% of the work. Does that make sense? So this is another group, guys. This is so just to show you guys this. Skogs, this is an amazing couple. Okay, for whatever reason, they will not introduce me to their warm market. So every single one of these people that he's introduced me to outside of this person right here, which is his kids, all of these people have come from a booth. He has a huge influence. He's in the Minnesota Hall of Fame, 25 years, state wrestling, the whole 9 yards. So he's a wrestling coach, and he oozes credibility. He's the deacon of their church. He's the dean of the school. I mean, everything you'd look for in a guy. He doesn't. He burned a bunch of people when he did his first direct sales company, and it's made him gun shy to go to his warm market. But he's an instant relationship builder. As soon as you talk to the guy, within 3 minutes, he just has that ability to connect with people. They trust him, and he gets them on the phone. So he is somebody that has led me to a lot of people. Okay, now here's the difference. I'm going to show you guys this because this is a good teaching moment. And this, please understand that I'm not putting anyone down. I'm just going to shoot you straight on. I'm not judging anyone. I'm just telling you where they're at. So you guys are getting a different look into the mind of Brad Nelson right now. Okay. So Daryl brings on Doug and Michelle Shinborn. Okay. These guys they were on AdvoCare back in like 2002. They live about 3.5 hours from me. 3 or 4 phone conversations. They said, we want to earn the type of income you do. Well, you know what? If we could make $10,000 a month, that'd be great. Okay. Who can you put me on the phone with first? They haven't done one three-way call. They haven't done anything. They will not put me on the phone, and they're not going to make $10,000 a month. Okay? Make sense? Hello? Give me feedback. Okay. I don't want to lose you. Give you polar again, but see, here's the other thing. This is a relationship that was built at a booth. All right? So it takes longer to develop credibility and relationship with that person to speak into their life, to tell them, dude, this isn't going to work for you. But some people come to the table and give you the polar opposite. So Daryl introduced me to Doug. Daryl also introduced me to Brady. Brady recruited 5 distributors this pay period. Brady races. He's a race car driver, and I don't know what his other second job is. His wife works at the hospital. Yeah, they live about 2.5 hours from me. This guy is the pinnacle of the word teachable. Tell me what I need to do. He's put me on the phone with 6 people this week. Since last Wednesday. Okay, he's like Brooke. Brooke's just like, how do I put people on the phone with you? Okay, he's getting people signed up. He's getting them started on product. He's got a lot of interest generated. Okay, so if you see his group here, he's got Sammy Epling, who signed up as a distributor. He's in Michigan. Vic Hill is in Greenville, Tennessee. Vic builds motors for Brady. Vic's the right guy too, just depending on what he wants to do with it. Jim Malawaki, and he's in Michigan. He signed up another guy, Jeff, and another guy, Jim. And then he's got this girl right here, Ashley Carlson, has tried AdvoCare before, sees a post that Brady puts on Facebook and says, hey, I want to get product from you, but isn't there a business side to this? I want to know about the business. I'm going out of town for vacation. Can you give me anything? So she's reading an Impact magazine as we speak. She gets back Saturday, and she wants to know more. Okay, so this is a, put it this way, it's an established leg. Robin, this is what we were talking about earlier. This is an established leg, but I'm still looking to build leaders in the leg. And I don't know who that leader is going to be. Right now, it's Brady and Brittany and Sarah Thompson. Okay, my job is to find somebody through Brady to solidify Brady on board. Does that make sense? I'm going to pause. What questions do you guys have based on that? Because those are all people you guys kind of know, or names you've seen at least. Brooke, am I losing you? Just because this might be a lot? Okay. Okay. Ashley makes sense? Okay. So I'm going to show you one more since you guys know her too. Okay. Dudley is right here. The reason that she's not green is because my kids have erased it because it's too low on my board. All right? They started erasing my people. I'm like, don't touch my board. When you have two kids under the age of 3 that are available and access to my office, this is what happens. Okay? So the point is this: I don't need to do anything in this leg at all. Okay? Amy is 100% the leader. She's taken over. She knows what she's doing. But she's brought on a couple key people. Okay, Kelly Kennedy, who you guys have probably met, basketball coach. Yeah, you guys know who that is. She was in Shar. So they're newer. So periodically, like meaning like once a month, I'll put a call into Shar just to touch. You know what I mean? Personal touch. Put a call into Kelly. These other two gals, Allie Munson and Allison Campbell, they just both have the right personality. Amy did 3-ways with me here 2 periods ago when she had 9,000 in volume or whatever. They were 2 brand new people to help her lock in that 9-star emerald. So Allison Campbell is brand new mom of triplets. Her kids are in NICU right now. They need AdvoCare financially. Okay, Allie Munson is she's young. Her husband's in the service. He's just got back from deployment. She owns a small boutique shop, and she's in a women's group. That's how Amy met her. She's got tons of credibility and just the right personality. So I only put them up there because I still will. I'll just say, hey, Amy, who are the top 2 or 3 people that if I put a call into and at least leave them a voicemail, it just puts pep in their step. That's what I'm looking for, because at this point, she doesn't need me to mentor them, because all I'm doing is saying, hey, just follow what Amy does. She's your leader. Trust her. Do anything she says. She'll always lead you down the right path. It's just it's just an extra third party saying the same thing. And since I'm famous from all my videos, that's a joke, guys. It's getting late. We got to joke a little bit. Yeah. But now all of a sudden, everybody's like, who was I on the phone with the other night? Is that a call with you, Robin? Oh, I know who it was. It was somebody through Dudley. She's like, are you the guy that's doing all those videos? And I said, yeah. I said, have you watched them? She goes, no. It was one of Amy's new people. It was pretty funny when she was asking me questions. So I'm like, okay, so that's how this is going to go down. Anyway, we got a good laugh out of it because, my face is on there every day now. So people are like, oh, that's Brad. So actually, Shar has a gal who I put a call into the other day that wants to build a business, says she wants to build a business. She's recruiting people. She's getting people on to start on the 24-day challenge, but she hasn't done any 3-way calls with Shar or Amy at all because she just doesn't want to follow the system. Well, I put one phone call into her and said, hey, good to talk with you, blah, blah, blah. We need to touch base. She messaged me back that day. Amy called me 48 hours later and said she's done 4 3-way calls with Shar. I didn't even tell her that she needed to do 3-way calls. I just said, hey, depending on what do you want out of this, let me know what I can do to help. Well, then I posted that video about using third-party credibility the next day, and apparently that stunk in. So sometimes it just requires they just want to hear from somebody else. It's not me having to call them every day. It's just touching them. Just like when Tyson was like, holy cow, I can call you? Right, Ashley? Remember that? He called me. He was like, oh my God, Brad, call me back. And it's such a huge step. Some people that resonates with, and some people it doesn't. Some people don't care who I am, and that's okay. And it's not like I need that to feel good. I'm just saying that some people they're amazed because they're like, wow, he took the time to call me back. Okay, this is the real deal, and it locks them in for life. So, okay, questions. Well, and that's where, I mean, let's face it, 99.9% of all males on the planet, including myself, have an ego. And I'll be honest with you guys, if Joe had if somebody else would have come to me to recruit me for AdvoCare other than Joe Hadacek, it would have taken a very, very strong person. Okay, most of the men in AdvoCare could have probably recruited me. Okay, most of the women probably couldn't because I was a pig-headed, egotistical college kid. I mean, for sure, not 15 years ago. I'm just telling you how it is. So it's nothing against women. It's because I had to go through a boatload of personal growth to actually, you know, listen to a Diane McDaniel and take her advice, or listen to a Danny Johnson, or listen to, you know what I mean? Like, it takes a strong woman to like hit me upside the head. That's exactly why I married Jordan. Trust me. So, well, and here's what you also have to know though on that note, because Amy ran into that same problem or challenge with a couple of guys on her team who they're constantly beating her up. And one, it's not her personality based on what they're trying to do. That's Amy does not work in a structured way. Amy flies around with the seat of her pants. She's got 4 kids, and she's just sparking people and having fun. And these guys are way more methodical, and it drives them nuts that Amy is getting further than they are because she's having fun. It's not about like it doesn't fit perfectly in a spreadsheet. You know what I mean? And look at my board; it's a mess because AdvoCare is messy, and you don't know where it's going to take you. So, I don't know where I was going with that, but I guess I mean the guys they're going to, if they stick around long enough, which I'm hoping they will. Ashley, that will come back to be in your favor because at some point they're both going to go to success school and go. How do I say it? They're going to go through growth that's needed, and they're going to come to the conclusion that they're like, hey, when you get to the point where you realize that people are doing the best they can with what they know how at this point, there's a whole different level of respect and go, hey, look, I probably was a jackwagon to you earlier, just so you know, I appreciate everything you've done, and you were the one that got me started because you planted the flag in Wyoming and said, I'm going to do this. And sometimes it takes a hard-headed person like yourself to do that because that's what it took in Minnesota. And it's just a matter of sticking around long enough to see that enough people come to fruition, and you're going to, along the way, people are going to they're going to receive it in maybe not the best light because they're not in the same place that you are. You know what I mean? So anyway, that's the boys. Okay, so let's move to a clean whiteboard. Do you guys have other questions right now that you can think of? No, that's what I'm about to draw out for you guys. Now, everything I'm going to do now, moving forward, based on what you just saw, is going to be for, oh man, I hope I can get a chair or something that's high enough to, huh? Yeah, I'm gonna draw Brooke's group first with Robin so she can see what I'm looking at. You guys, can you guys, I'm gonna draw each one, yeah. Can you guys see that if I leave that right there? It's delayed. Yeah, I know. I was walking in the dark, so it's coming. You like that? Oh, yeah. No, I'm gonna show you. So I just show what I just showed you, Ashley, and I'm sorry, Robin knew this before she got on the call because we talked about it earlier. Okay. So I just showed you how I look at our team and our group, and specifically your leg. Okay. But now, what you saw with what I just showed with Brady, with all the new people that he's connecting me with, I treat him as a frontline person who's introducing me to 5 new people, 10 new people. I'm going to write every single name up there right now because I'm looking for the one that I make a connection with through Brady that's going to go do this with Brady. So I'm going to write up every name right now in his group because he's brand new and he doesn't know what he's doing. Okay? You guys on this call right now semi know what you're doing. All right? Brooke is the newest. Brooke may or may not know what she's doing. That's okay. She's getting this is like a 201 class, so she's getting a little extra, a little bonus time tonight. So let me get to. That's right. That's right. So I'm gonna start drawing out names, and Brooke, I'm gonna ask you to start giving me backstory on some of these people. You guys are gonna love this. Jordan's gonna freak out, but let's see if I can. You got this on camera and it's recording. It's sweet. I'm getting this cord out of the way. That cord right there that you guys see hanging in front of that board just allowed me to receive text and cell phone access at my house after 2 years of having none. So we'll see if that works. Okay, so we've got. Hopefully you guys can see this from that far away. Okay, so you got Robin. Okay, so we're gonna start here. Brooke. Robin, I should have put you green, but I didn't. Okay, nothing against you. Don't take it personal. Um, okay, so this is Brooke. Brooke's on fire. She's almost got a rookie bonus. Okay, so I'm going to go off of what I see on reports. So if I come back here and I look really weird in the camera, it's because I'm looking at my reports right now. So like this, you've got Sandy and Debbie. All right. So give me a story on Sandy and Debbie so far. Okay, that's fine. So, Debbie, Okay. Perfect. Okay. Yep. Yep. Guys, I'm going to apologize in advance. The amount of three-way calls that I do, I forget people. That's why I'm drawing it up here for you guys right now. So this is going to help you draw it on your board and give me the backstory of what you just said. Hey, you talked to her on this three-way call. It's my mom, and she wants to go advise her. Okay, now it's refreshing my memory. Okay. Okay, Ellie. Okay. She wants extra income and debt freedom. Okay. Laura. Okay. Okay. All right. Belinda. Okay. Do you know that person's name? What's her name? Kelly Salt. Yep. Okay. And do you have Heidi Salt's direct contact information? Okay. I'm going to come back to that in a second. Okay. This is perfect. You guys are like playing into this. So guys, here's what I'm looking at right now. I'm going back and forth between my advisor pre-qualification report. Okay, so there's two reports in your office on your computer that you're going to become intimately familiar with, like daily looking at your reports. Okay, as your team, yeah. Yep. I put Laura Clark up there. So wait a second. Laura Clark is interested or doesn't have any interest whatsoever? Okay, so Laura Clark's interested in the business as well, potentially. Is that correct? Okay. And Belinda's interested in the business too? Okay. And Angie Napier, what's her story? Okay. Okay. Cool. I'm going to show you how to work through both these people that are said they're interested in business and these other people that are saying they're interested in just product. Okay, but I'm going to draw all this out right now because you've got a massive amount of people and we need to be connecting. I mean, I need you to know what's going on. So, what else do we have? She's a pharmacist and she's interested in the business, or just like whatever. Okay. So, Robin, does this all make sense right now so far? 5, 6, 7. How many people have you total recruited frontline, Brooke? You have more than that, right? Yeah, you do. Let me go through something quick. So, let me see here. So, complete downline is probably from. Okay, so this is how you're looking at. Let me see here. No, hierarchy. So there's the difference between what I just did. Okay, so you're looking at that was the report I just looked at was my advisor pre-qualification report, first period qualifier. So that's every single person that ordered this period on Brooke's team. Okay, and Brooke has 8 people total signed up on her team. So the only person I don't have is Laura Colvin, and she's the one that is not interested. Correct? Okay. So, all right. So I still put her, I mean, so Robin, this is more for you. I mean, this is for Brooke too, but this is what I want you to see. Okay, and I'm gonna pretend that I'm Robin right now in the sense that I'm the one that's helping Brooke. So you guys can see how I look at this group right here. Okay? So you've got all of these people. Okay, basically you've got Sandy who just wants to order product, and you've got Laura who just wants to order product. Okay, but I still look at those people as a referral source. A happy customer will share this with somebody. And so you say, hey, Laura, what do you like best about the product? What do you like best? What's your favorite product? Spark, great. Hey, who's the first person that pops into your head that might be interested in learning more about Spark? Okay, because here's what I'm looking for. It doesn't matter whether Laura does this or not. It matters that can Laura introduce you to her friend, number 1, friend number 2, friend number 3, that maybe they just get started on 24-day challenge. But then friend number 3 says, hey, I want to build this as a business. Laura might all of a sudden say, hey, maybe I want to build this as a business because friend number 3 wants to build this as a business. And now you're building out a leg of business from that. But Laura may not be the person. Okay, does that make sense, Robin? You starting to follow me a little bit? Okay, Brooke, does that make sense? So still look at keep these people, touch them periodically, maybe not as much as these other people, but put a call into them and say, hey, just want to follow up with you. And what do you like best? This is a great question. What do you like best about the product that you're on? Or what do has anyone noticed your results? Is another great question. Those are your go-to questions. Has anyone noticed your results? Yeah, my friend was asking me what I was doing. Hey, is she open to learning more? That's the key to then building out this network that all of a sudden leads to what you guys are talking about is, basically think of it this way. A Laura Colvin led to an Ashley Kinsler. All right? Does that make sense? Because Laura, I mean, the equivalent of Laura in my world that led me to Ashley, she basically wanted to get on a cleanse. Didn't want to try any other product. Didn't want to do anything. Her next door neighbor says, hey, I want to do a cleanse too. Who did you get this from? My trainer, blah, blah, blah. This is the chiropractor's wife. Chiropractor gets on product, introduces it to one of his patients. She loses 15 pounds on 24-hour challenge. Introduces it to college friend. Introduces it to her sister. Introduces it to actually her best friend, and then best friend introduces it to Ashley. Okay? And now the only person that's left is pretty much, in the game that's here and there periodically talking to me is sister and Ashley out of that entire group. But had I not talked to Laura, I would have never found Ashley. Is this starting to click a little bit? So, Robin, this is how my board would look if I was working with Brooke. Okay? You need it because Brooke is actively engaged and introducing all of these people to you. You guys are like Bonnie and Clyde right now. Thelma and Louise. Okay? You gotta look at yourself, you're Thelma and Louise. So your job is to help connect with each of these people. So I'm going to focus on Ellie first. Okay, so Ellie says, I want to earn money and I want to get out of debt. She placed a qualifying order. Okay, so that means starting tomorrow, okay, if her goal is to earn money and get out of debt, the number one thing is we've got to get her to work to advisor. Okay? So this is what I'm saying to Ellie. This is the language I'm using with Ellie. Literally, I call Ellie tomorrow, okay, because it's the first day of the pay period. I say, Ellie, today's the first day of a pay period. You know, on the sheet you mentioned that you wanted to earn money and get out of debt. Okay? Who is the first person that is would be open-minded enough to take a look at this, whether they do anything or not, that doesn't matter. Okay, this is what I'm starting to use for language because who is the first person that's open-minded enough to look at AdvoCare to earn extra money like you are, okay, with the understanding that most likely they're going to say, hey, I want to try the product first. That's okay, because if that person puts in a $500 order next period, okay, she's starting over, okay, so she's got to accumulate. But let's say person number 2 puts in a $300 order, person number 3 puts in a $200 order, okay, there's another $1,000 towards Ellie's volume, so she's got $1,538 in her second pay period. Does that make sense to you guys? Ashley, is that making sense to you? So this is just insert names in your group with the names that I'm putting here. Okay, this is how I'm combing through advisor pre-qualification report going, who do I need to touch? All right? So Ellie, our goal is to find somebody through Ellie, but see, I don't stop with this person. Let's say she introduces me to a person who places a $500 order. That's great, okay? I'm going to do what happened over here with Belinda and Heidi, saying, hey, person number 1, do you know person number 2 who would be interested in doing a 24-day challenge with you? And trying to build this right away. Maybe that person orders a $200 one. Okay, that rolls to here. That's $700 for this person. That's all rolling up to Ellie. So she has an extra $200 that she wouldn't have had because this person introduced her to somebody. Is that, I guess, picking up what I'm putting down there? Okay. Robin, does this answer your question on why do you help people in depth now? Okay. So there, that's one example. Okay, but this is what I would have written on my board. Ellie 538, so I know where she's at. Okay, Laura Clark, she's interested in learning more. Okay, so remember, multiple exposures for people before they actually go to the next level. Expose, which you have. Involve, if they're involved in taking a 24-day challenge. Are they watching videos? Are you guys connecting with them on a not daily basis, but every couple, 3 days, just to make sure the follow-up process is going good, to make sure that they have killer results in the 24-day challenge. Knowing that product results are going to come from, or business results are going to come from awesome product results. Okay, that's where it all starts. Does that make sense? So here's what I would do with literally, I mean, Brooke, you're doing this better than I do. I mean, you're saying, Belinda, who do you know? How do you get started? How do you get on the 24-day challenge? Okay, here's what I would do in the beginning. Heidi is Belinda's friend. Okay, but I would still do what Robin did and have Heidi's contact info. Heidi, I would be you and Brooke together following up with Belinda and with Heidi on the 24-day challenge on these specific days. Days 1, day 4, day 7, day 10. Does that make sense? So you're doing the follow-up to make sure that they're getting the results, knowing that there is going to be massive business that has the potential to come out of this because all these people are doing the 24-day challenge right now. So going back to my question at the beginning, Robin, when I said, do you have Google, do you guys use Google Calendar? Brooke? For your, okay, okay. So in Ashley, do you use Google Calendar? Okay. Here's why I use Google Calendar. Google Calendar makes my life real simple. Okay? I literally have 6 different calendars overlaid on my Google Calendar. I have my gym public calendar, so everybody that comes to my classes knows who the instructor is for that day. I have my gym private calendar to know what I'm doing for that day. I have my Advocare team calendar, when we do calls and things like that, that's public to everyone on our team. I have my Advocare private calendar that is my schedule based on setting up 3-way calls with people like you guys on the phone. Okay, that's something that if I'm doing a call with Robin, Ashley can't see that I have a call with Robin at 8 p.m. Okay, but I have to keep my life that ordered, and it's with me at all times. It crosses all platforms, meaning it's on any access that I have computer to, any phone, any iPad, whatever. I can look at my calendar right there, right now, and I can see what I'm supposed to be doing. And it's sending me notifications, right? I also have a calendar that is specifically color-coded and dedicated to 24-day challenge follow-up. The people I am personally coaching on the 24-day challenge, I have a calendar set up if Ashley is my newest customer, I literally go in and add Ashley day 1, day 4, day 8, day 10, day 11, day 15, 18, 21, 24. So I literally count out those days. She goes into my calendar on those days so that I know that I have to touch her on those days. Okay, I do that for every single person that I'm working with on customer-wise. That allows me to keep my life simple and in the palm of my hand versus having paper and go, oh, I forgot to write down this person's info. And then my 6th calendar is personal. Okay, personal is anything that I have to do with basically appointments with wife and kids. So date night, tomorrow chiropractic appointment with Bonham, pick up at preschool on Mondays, going to the apple orchard on Saturday, whatever it is, that goes in. So there's some things that overlap, but it simplifies my life because they're all color-coded to what works for me, but it keeps me on track and accountable because it's in my calendar. And it allows me to have separate areas of my life to where if I only want to see my Advocare stuff, you can just unclick all the other boxes and just say, I just want to see what my Advocare week looks like. Does that help? Well, there's no way we could do what we do if I didn't have that. So you grow into that. You know what I mean? Like you know that you basically can't do anything with AdvoCare at school other than talk to people in the break room or in passing. Okay, so you're not going to have 2-on-1 appointments scheduled for lunch like I would. So the point is you're going to grow into it. But if it's not, I'll tell you what, if it's not in my calendar, it doesn't get done. So like I'll give you an example. Brad, do you have kid duty tomorrow night? No, it's not on my calendar. I told you that. You know what I mean? I've heard that multiple times. So here's what happens now. She schedules it in my calendar and then reminds me again, hey, you have kid duty tomorrow night. Yep, it's in my calendar. Otherwise, what happens is if I have kid duty scheduled for 6 to 8 o'clock, I'll schedule a call for 7 because I forgot I had kid duty. Well, I know at least one of you have done a three-way call with me when my kids are around. It's a disaster. Robin heard it this afternoon, and I was just talking to her. Okay? I cannot multitask. So when it's family time, I got to be on family time because I won't do justice to family or the person on the other end of the phone. It doesn't help. Does that make sense? So you don't worry about how overwhelming our calendar is because our calendar is insane. If you guys saw what we did, you'd go, I don't want to do AdvoCare. Okay? But I wasn't always like that. I was not like that when I was in your guys' stage. Okay, back to the board. So everybody here, the people I'd focus on, the very first point is all of these people that went into qualification, which are Angie Napier, Belinda, Ellie, and then the other people that obviously your mom wants to be an advisor. Laura has some interest, and then you're not sure on Amy. Okay, I would literally make a plan with these people tomorrow. And here's what I mentioned to Rob and Brooke. I said, hey, why don't we take, this is why the other reason I want to do this tonight. Let's do a group message to Angie, Belinda, Ellie, Laura, and Debbie. Invite them on one call. It's going to be about 15 minutes long. And just say, hey guys, I know you guys are just getting started on product, and I want to just help you here at the beginning of this pay period. You may not understand the pay period thing, that's okay. But if your goal is to get to 40% discount for either personal use product discount or to earn extra money, today's the first day of the pay period. What does it look like the next couple days and where you're at, okay? And I want to be able to answer their questions, field their questions, figure out where they're at so that we can start working with them, tomorrow versus waiting at the end of the period where we've got 48 hours and we're saying, hey, Angie, stay in qualification, order 500 versus she could have recruited 5 people this period just to get started on a 24-day challenge. Does that help, Robin? No, let's do all in the same message. So we just do one call with your 5 people that are already on product, but they're asking questions about the business, and you're like, hey, this is just another opportunity, another layer for you guys to ask questions about the business side. I know each of you, your curiosity is piqued, and we just want to further that. Brad's going to be available at this time. We'll just schedule a time that everybody, I don't know, later at night so they can all pop on at the same time. And the reason that I want to do it as a group is this. A lot of these people you've already talked to individually with Robin and or me, but now as a group what happens is Belinda asked a question that Ellie didn't think about. And that spurs Ellie to ask a question that Angie didn't think about. And all of a sudden there's a little bit of synergy going and they're getting questions asked that they didn't even know they had, and they're like starting to see a bigger vision of what's available. They're Yep, you could do that, and then I would do that. as soon as possible, and then just say, hey, here's another opportunity. Here's a guy that's been doing this for 15 years. Check out, invite them to the call as well, knowing that, hey, some of the stuff that we talk about might be a little bit past you yet, but I'll try to keep it as elementary as possible so it isn't confusing them. But just, I mean, basically, I'm just finding out what they want and saying, why do you guys want to do this? Tell me why. Because until I know why, it doesn't make sense to them, and it's not going to make sense to them until they know why they're doing it. You know. But yeah, definitely. I mean, it's not like it's a closed call. I just want to be able to do it with a smaller group versus picking them off one by one. They've already been talked to one-on-one. Now let's get some other people on there so that they're asking questions. Robin, what's your thoughts so far? Yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Here, let me do this. Let me get my other phone so I can take a picture of that and save it. Does that make sense? Yeah. Yeah. I don't. I'll email Wes because I thought they were going to send it out, but maybe they didn't. Um, so yeah. So Ashley, do you want me to go through your group quick, or are you good? Does this make sense? Ashley Kingsler, a loser. Brooke, Robin, you guys still on? Okay. Oh, that's okay. Ashley, you on? She must have taken another call. Okay. So, well, hopefully that makes sense for you guys. And yeah, yeah. Now I can. Now I can. Hello. Now I can hear you. Yep, I'll do it very quick. This is so the first thing you're looking at is I always go to um advisor pre-qualification report first. Okay? So I don't know about, so we've got Tyson hasn't signed up anybody yet, right? Uh no. He signed him. That's right. He signed. I was looking. Yeah, I was looking at something else. So okay, so we've got. Okay, so you've got. Have you ever talked to Diane Carpenter? Have you talked to Odessa about her? Okay, so this is what I look at. So she's at. I don't know how much she ordered the first time around, but this is a large order for a second order. So she's talking to somebody. I look at anything over 300, 350 bucks usually means that they're moving product some level. Maybe it's just Spark or whatever. Okay. So who's Amanda Hellier? Who's Darley Blankenship? Okay, so he's got Darley and Amanda. Eric, yep. And then you've got Nancy Yarborough orders under Aaron quite a bit. That's her mom. That's somebody that is probably worth a connection point there. So, okay, that's cool then. So then you've got Kelly. So here's what I mean. These are the people that right now. Here's what it comes down to: is you heard. I don't need to go through why I'm looking at certain things because actually you can see this on your report. But you got to see this written up there so that it makes sense. Okay. So Teresa Spoon Hunter, Robin Beers, that's the one that said she wanted to earn money, right? At some point through Kelly. Okay. Robin Beers, she's brand new as of July, so that's a decent order. Um, so here's what you got to look at is fire burns up. Okay, so I want to go to the very bottom of the organization and talk to her. Because if Diane gets, no, I'm saying Diane Carpenter. If I say Diane Carpenter, sorry, if I go to Diane Carpenter, okay, and all of a sudden Diane goes advisor, Odessa gets a check for $300. Odessa says, how does this work? Okay, Ross gets excited because if this girl goes advisor in one shot, Odessa gets $300 commission check, Ross has $1,000 in volume in, Ross hits silver, Odessa gets a $300 check, Ross hits silver, now who's excited? Odessa and Ross. Versus Ross, who else do you have that's new? Yeah, that's important, but we have to dig when there's people down here. Same thing with Tyson, Amanda Hellier, reaching out. Hey, Amanda, I'm calling you because I'm just curious. AppleCare has two sides to it. May or may not be for you. What are you looking to get out of it? What are your goals? That type of thing. Just connect with them. Out of 10 voicemails left, you might get one call back. That's just the name of the game. Okay? But if you connect with them and you're not pushing anything on them, you're just leaving a voicemail, say, hey, I just want to be a resource for you. That's a great word, by the way. I just want to be a resource for you if you have any questions. We're going to deliver great customer service, blah, blah, blah. They're like, hey, I'll call that person. And they might not call after the first time or the second time, but man, if they keep ordering product like that, pretty soon they're going to say, you know what, I need to check into this. So, okay, so just say, hey, Diane, just want to make sure you do this because with all the orders that you placed, you could have already been at 30% discount. Just want to make sure you're maximizing this. When do you have 5 minutes to connect by phone so we can talk a little bit? Keep it short, sweet, and then you want to connect with her live and then send her a video because you just want to feel out where they're at. But I don't know if there's anything in Aaron and Nancy, but Kelly Goat is going to lead you to somebody. I don't know who it is. Goaty, yeah, whatever. But you know what I'm saying? Yeah, so here's always my thought process on that. If you are really interested to know about the business, and you really want to earn extra income, and you've called her 3 times and she hasn't called you back, no. I have a guy right now that keeps telling me he wants to earn money, and he's third level to me. And he's set 3 appointments with me, and he's flaked on me all 3 times. I haven't returned his last 4 texts on purpose. Because this guy tells me to my face, I want to know how to make money. Okay, great. Let's sit down and do this. Well, I got volleyball tonight. Okay. Well, let me know when you're ready. And he called me at like Sunday at 8 a.m. or something. Like, what? And then he'll say, dude, you didn't call me back. And I said, I just finally, the other night I was a dink to him. Okay, guys? It was once in a while. Once a quarter, I'll use the dink card. Okay? And I went to him and I said, dude, do you have any idea how much income I earn? You flaked on me 3 appointments. You're not worth my time. If you're serious, you'll clear your calendar to sit down with me for 30 minutes. And I haven't heard from him since. Because I don't have time. I'm helping people like you guys try to understand this business and doing three-way calls, and this guy's wasting my time. I'm like, dude, I'm not going to schedule any more appointments because that could be 2 three-way calls for the next person that wants to build a business. So, you have to say, hey, Rob, this is the last time I'm going to text base with you. When the timing's right for you, that you want to learn how to earn money, give me a call. This is the last voicemail that I leave. Because quit wasting your time calling her. Right? Sometimes it's harsh. Sometimes it's like, you just got to get real with people because people really want to be. If I continue to call someone, it's as if I'm begging them to join my team. I don't need that guy that keeps flaking on me to join my team to go double my income this year. Because right now he's wasted my time 3 times. So, three strikes, in my opinion, is generous. I just say, hey, and there obviously you really learn human nature when you build a business like this, because People's yes is a yes, and their no is an excuse. You guys catch that? So it's, yes, I'm interested. Well, wait, let's get you set up today. Are you interested? Well, I don't really have time right now. They don't want to say no. Okay? So the no is an excuse. So correct. They almost say yes just to get you off their back, and that's why I had this conversation with a brand new gal, and I said, look, I go, Rachel, here's the deal. Um, Here's what I'll promise you. I will never, ever, ever embarrass you. I will never lose any friends for you. Okay, you're bringing your influence and the people that you know to the table. I'm bringing the credibility of Advocare to the table. I am going to lay out all of their options and then let them choose what they want to do. And so I use the example of, if I'm calling a college friend of mine, this is why you guys probably have heard this a lot. And you're going to continue to hear it a lot because I'm passionate. You lay out from the beginning all the expectations. Ashley's a friend of mine from college that I haven't talked to in 10 years, and we connect on Facebook. Ashley, I want to talk to you. She agrees to talk to me. I'm going to say, Ashley, I have hey, I'm calling you for business purposes, but first bring me up to speed on what's new with you. She brings me up to speed on her life, and she says, Brad, why are you calling me? I'm calling to talk to you about Advocare. Have you heard of it? No. Okay? Here's the deal, Ashley. I'm not going to talk you into anything. I'm not going to talk you out of anything. I have no idea if it's for you, but know this. I'm going to share this with you one time right now. If it's not for you, I will never bring it up again unless you bring it up first. I honor that to the letter because that does a couple of things. It gives them an out right away. And it also allows me it gives me permission because I say, I'm going to tell you about this one time. When I say I'm going to tell you about this, you're going to get the whole enchilada, all your options up front. You're going to know the whole thing based on my story. And then they get the full picture. There's no, oh, I didn't forget to tell you about the business, or, ooh, I didn't know how to bring up the business. I'm going to bring up the business because that's what I'm doing. I'm looking for leaders who want to build a business. And then it allows them, gives me permission, gives them an out. They get to make the decision after that. And then I honor it. They don't want anything to do with it. Hey, you know what? Love to have you on my team, Ashley. When the time is right for you, love to have you. Give us a call. She's not going to hear from me again on Advocare. Maybe on some other stuff, but she's not going to hear from me about Advocare. She's going to have to bring it up. Yeah, that's in product. I've had three people off that Facebook Messenger system. Two of them said, "Contact me again in 3 months." I'm gonna contact them again in 3 months. They already went on my calendar. I'm following up with Michelle Ulrich, who's a rock star at this. She's a nurse. Okay, I mean they've already went on my calendar because they've given me permission to follow up with them. So that's part of the fortune of the follow-up. Now, I'll give you 2 examples. One is a guy named Chris Alquist. Chris Alquist knew what I was doing. In 2004, I was making about $5,000 a month. Chris and I know each other through the kettlebell world. He lived in Mexico at the time, so Advocare's not in Mexico, so it's really challenging for him to build a business. Comes back to the States. So he's like, so, hey man, how's that Advocare thing going? Chris and I have a great relationship. He's in the car with me in Bonham. Okay, we're just kind of tooling around on a Friday afternoon. I haven't seen him in like 5 years, and we're just talking, right? He says, how's our Advocare thing going? I said, well, last month paid us $17,000. Hey, how you doing, man? What's new with you? totally switched the subject on. I was like, what, wait. I'm like, we can talk about AdvoCare later. Let's catch up on you. Right then I had him because I wouldn't talk about AdvoCare. Okay, so the point of that story is the only thing that matters is that you make progress in the time that you talk to them and the last time you talk to them. Right? Over time. The second thing is this, Ashley, forcing in the follow-up going back. Some of those people, here's what's going to happen. That before Facebook, I would say, hey Chris, are you open to me following up with you in 6 months to a year to see if the timing has changed for you? Okay. Now with Facebook, I don't have to do that because I can just comment on a couple of their pictures periodically or their posts, and they can see what's going on with me. Hey, oh my gosh, Brad won that trip to Greece. You know what I mean? Like, people are watching way more now. So the other key is this. Somebody says no to me, they're not ready. Follow up is this. Ashley, I'd love to have you on my team. If the time is ever right, just let me know. I'll be here when you want to get going. The key is for you to never quit. And the second key is this. Let Drew Brees doing AdvoCare commercials on Saturday afternoon on ESPN be your follow-up for you. So you've got the thing that you have going for you now is the amount of commercials that are happening. AdvoCare is everywhere. Okay, your job is to bring the strength of the message one time, and whether they do it or not right now, it does not matter. The only thing that matters is, one, you don't quit, and two, you let AdvoCare as a company and the brand all of a sudden be top of mind every Saturday, during the week on these other commercials, all of that. It does the work. They'll do the work for you. Your job is to touch people first. Does that help? So the key is this. You did that through the Facebook message system, right? Okay. So here's what you got to remember. Let's say you did it through Facebook. Those people. So point of contact or exposure one was Facebook message. Exposure two was a three-way call. Okay, when you go back to that video where I said 5 to 7 exposures it takes for someone to go, okay, they're going to need to see a commercial. They're going to need to see another success story. They're going to need to see, oh my gosh, my hairstylist started on AdvoCare and she lost 30 pounds. Man, I need to go back and talk to Ashley. You see what I'm saying? These are all seeds that are going to come around at some point. Your job is to just keep spreading seed. Yep, I get it. The Robin Brooke, you guys still on? Sorry, it's going a little longer. Okay, I'm going to finish this. So this is why, Brooke, you're doing everything right now. Okay, because it's your job. You're bringing people to the table. You're telling them about both sides because it's so much easier to bring the strength of the message one time, the first time, the one and only time, and then let them sort it out on their end versus trying to sprinkle Advocare on them 64 times, and it gets awkward and weird. And because if you bring the message strong one time, the commercials and the brand of Advocare are going to take over. And those people will come back to you. But they're only going to come back to you if you're strong with them the first time. So, Robin, you asleep yet? Yep. I'm going to let you guys go. So, thanks for playing. Hopefully that helped tonight. That was a long message, but